Hi, if you're interested in a holistic lifestyle, natural, simple healing tools, grounding in nature, foraging, and being healthy, basically, and being peaceful, emotionally peaceful and happy, then this channel is for you. Hi, my name is Marianne, and I'm starting this channel from complete scratch, so it's quite daunting for me to do this, but ultimately I just want to have fun with it, and I want to do it to keep myself accountable, essentially, for all the things that I'd like to do, and I'm hoping that I can be of inspiration to people along the way. So I've always been someone who has loved connecting with nature, even as a child. So I've spent a lot of time in nature, and as a child my siblings and I would always walk out barefoot because our parents didn't seem to think that wearing shoes was necessary. So, but everyone else eventually started wearing shoes, and so did I, but I loved the feeling of being barefoot so much that I often returned to it, especially in the spring and summer and autumn months. And I was aware of how much benefit it was giving me by doing it. And later on I really discovered the benefits of hugging trees as well. So although it makes me feel quite self-conscious doing those things, because I don't really want people to notice me being barefoot or hugging a tree, but I've become quite stubborn about doing it regardless, because I just really feel like it's so beneficial for my health. So that's one thing that I'll talk about on this channel, because I feel like it's something that's very much needed, especially at these times where we're surrounded by technology and lots of EMF radiation and things like that. So that's one thing that I'll be talking a lot about. When I was younger, I used to learn a lot about foraging from my mother. So as we were growing up, she would often go out on big long walks and find all sorts of wild food for us to eat. And I guess I always naturally resonated with that, and that's something that I've carried forward into my life today. So I'm always keen to go out and find different seasonal bits and pieces out and about. So I'll also be sharing with you all of the things that I forage from season to season, and I'll also show you what you can do with them in the kitchen as well. Aside from that, I like to be plant-based in my diet, meaning that I don't eat any meat or animal products at all. This way of being just makes me feel healthier primarily, and happier too. And I'm someone who's explored many different diets, from the omnivore diet to a raw vegan diet. I've kind of been to both extremes and multiple times, and it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, to be honest. But time and time again I come back to the plant-based diet, and is an overwhelming feeling of this is the right way for me to eat, and so that's what I do. So therefore I will be sharing with you many recipes that I've devised myself, and as I've been inspired by other recipes, and I'll be showing you how I make things like bread, different salads, different plant-based dishes, curries, soups, stews, all sorts of different things. So I'll be sharing that on this channel too. Ultimately, I probably believe that the fruit-based diet is the healthiest diet of all, but also I think that it's much easier to live that lifestyle when you're living in a lovely tropical country like Thailand or India or somewhere like that. But I do try and eat as much raw vegetables and fruit as possible within my diet, and I think over time I'd like to just increase those amounts. But right now I'm well and truly still eating cooked food, and I'm just trying to move towards an even healthier lifestyle as I go on. The other thing that I'll be focusing on this channel is natural movement and dance, because I absolutely love dance for one, and I've never truly got into it in the sense of I don't feel like I've given myself the opportunity to really do it and be consistent with it, even though I've done numerous dance classes over the years, but it's just something that I've never really stuck to. So that's something that I'm looking to do and to develop. So part of me doing this channel is for me to become more consistent with my movement practice generally. I've often started a movement practice and sometimes done it for quite a long time, but then ultimately I've come off it and felt discouraged by something or other. And I've then just had big long phases of not doing anything. The main thing that I always feel happy to come back to is things like sun salutations, which I feel comfortable with. But at the same time, I have always desired to do a little bit more with my movement and to become more flexible and to do other little tricks like the splits and back bends and backward walkovers and things like that. And I've always wanted to do those things, but never almost given myself permission to do them, and never really stuck to anything to actually make that happen. So like I say, part of me doing this video is to try and keep myself accountable and to share all of those things along the way with you and to share my progress. Other than this, I really love animals and I'm very fascinated with animal communication, especially when it comes to horses and birds. I've always wanted to get into natural horsemanship. It's not something that's, again, it's one of those things a bit like dance where I've dabbled in it for some time in certain periods of my life and then kind of ducked out of it. But it's something that I would really love to have the opportunity to really commit to at some point. And so I'll be talking about how I'm going to approach those things too. So this kind of ties in with natural horsemanship and the desire to want to ride horses without too much equipment and with their consent as well. Because I don't like the idea of just kind of jumping on a horse without having that sense of like absolute clear communication with the horse and that they're happy to be doing those things with me. I've recently been trying to connect with the local crows down the road from me, and I've started, what I learnt was that they enjoy monkey nuts. So I took my first bag of monkey nuts down there the other day, and I will probably go down there just before sunset tonight and try again. So I managed to get a little bit of attention from the crows as they ate the monkey nuts, and they got fairly close to me. But I'm going to try and document that journey as well, because I love the idea of a crow coming really close or even onto my hand or arm, and to develop a communication with them too. And I've heard that they're supposed to be incredibly intelligent and that they remember your face for about 2 years and that they can do all sorts of things. So I'm really excited about doing that too. Anyway, I really want to keep this video as to the point as possible, since my first video was the opposite of that. And I hope you're clear on what this YouTube channel is going to be about. I know it's a big variety of things, but I ultimately love a variety of different things in my life, and it's going to be hard for me to just stay consistent with one thing and not include anything else. So I'm just hoping that, you know, all of these things together will be a true representation of me and what I enjoy about life, and that will resonate with other people too. So thanks for being here, and I will see you in the next video.